So good morning and welcome to Sunday morning drop-in meditation. Everybody's dropping in via their computers these days, so I trust everyone's well and happy. And as usual, let's begin by settling and calming our body. So make sure that you're sitting comfortably, whether you're on a chair or whether you're on a cushion on the floor. Nice straight spine, but not rigid. And let's become aware of our body and scan our body for any areas of tension. And if we notice tension on each out breath, imagine that that tension leaves the body with the breath and dissolves into space. So just coming to the top of our head. Moving down over the forehead. Relaxing, releasing. Being aware of the temples. And coming to the eyes. A lot of muscles around the eyes. Just relaxing. And relax the eyes themselves. Nice, soft gaze. And I like the, as if you're daydreaming. Moving down over the cheekbones to the mouth. Relaxing the muscles around the mouth. Relaxing the jaws. And just resting the tongue lightly behind the top teeth. Just experience the face completely relaxed. Like a sleeping baby. Now bring your awareness back to the top of the head and move down the back of the head to the base of the skull. Relaxing, releasing, just letting go. Be aware of your head, the front and the back, relaxed and at ease. And as we're scanning, don't try to control the breath, just breathe naturally. Become aware of any tension in the neck and just breathe it out. No rush. Having to rush also creates tension. Be aware of the shoulders, the tops of the shoulders. And let's just lift the shoulders up and drop them. Let's do that 3 times. Be aware of the shoulder blades. Having your shoulders slightly back opens up the chest area too. Travel down the spine all the way to the base of the spine. Be aware of the contact between your buttocks and the cushion or the chair. Feel the stability of the spine. And feel your body safe and supported by the chair or the cushion. Now bring your awareness to the front of the body, the top of the chest. Again, having a sense of softness, relaxation. Moving down to the diaphragm and the belly, the pelvic area. Soft, relaxed, at ease. The head, the trunk, completely relaxed, still, comfortable. Come back to the shoulders. Move down the arms. To the elbows, wrists, and hands. Palms of the hands, backs of the hands, fingers, all the way to the fingertips. No tension anywhere. And of course, if you do notice tension, simply breathe it out with the out breath. Let it dissolve. coming to the hips, moving down through the thighs to the knees, knees to ankles, tops of the feet, soles of the feet, toes. Now take in the whole body, from the tips of the toes to the top of your head. And just enjoy the feeling of the body still, peaceful, supported, and at ease. Notice that as we relax the body, the mind also relaxes and becomes still, calm, and peaceful. And now that we are still and focused, let's set a very positive motivation for joining the meditation this morning, bringing to mind that there's nobody who wants to suffer and everybody wants to be happy. Not only human beings, but animals and insects and all living creatures want to be happy. So let's open our hearts with this understanding and have the wish that whatever benefit we derive may flow on to all the living beings that we come into contact with. And the Mahayana practitioners amongst you, renew your bodhicitta motivation. And make this motivation very, very sincere. My words are just a rough guide, but you can use your own words to develop this wish to benefit others. However you do it, make sure that it's sincere. Based on the understanding that we're all looking for happiness. And that even people who are looking in unskillful ways May we wish them happiness too and peace of mind. So we're going to move on as usual to do some breathing meditation. And as my teachers often say, this is simple, but that does not mean that it's easy. So our task is to bring the awareness, merge the awareness with the breath. And every time the mind wanders, try to notice that as quickly as possible and bring the awareness back without judgment or criticism. Remember, we are practicing. We're not perfect yet. So just checking your posture. And taking a little bit of time to make sure you're comfortable. Remember, spine straight but not rigid. Relaxed, still, and vigilant. best to keep your vigilance bright and alert rather than tight and tense. Remember, your only task is to merge the awareness with the breath. The whole of the in-breath and the whole of the out-breath. Relaxed, still, and vigilant. Whenever the mind wanders, notice and return to the breath. Who knows how many years, how many lifetimes from Buddha's point of view, the mind has been left to do whatever it likes, wander around, get into a lot of mischief. Now we're teaching it to stay focused. In the beginning, it will certainly rebel. But after some time, the mind will get used to the discipline and will actually begin to enjoy it. And of course, we are meant to stay as still as possible. But if you notice that you're slumped over, or that you're leaning to one side, or that your shoulders have crept up because you're concentrating a bit too hard, just adjust your posture and relax. If you can, you have your eyelids lowered but your eyes slightly open so that some light comes in and counters sleepiness. And if we shut our eyes, normally the mind says, oh, time to sleep. So practice that. It may feel weird in the beginning if you've been meditating with your eyes open, closed. So just try from time to time having the eyes slightly open. So have a little stretch, need to. Have a little sip of your drink if you've got one there. Yeah, I always feel that, meditation is really an ongoing learning process. And no two sessions are exactly the same. So if anybody has any questions, not that I'm an expert, I think I'm also learning every time I meditate, but if there are any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. And remember, there's no such thing as a silly question. So, yeah, don't be shy if there's something that you would like to ask. Okay, so now I want to move on to a meditation on compassion, which involves a little bit of visualization. So we're going to use the image of the Buddha Chenrezig, if you're comfortable with that. Otherwise, you can visualize Jesus or Mary or, whatever you feel comfortable with, but would make it would make the meditation quite awkward if I repeat every time, visualize Chenrezig or. So whenever I say Chenrezig, the visualization is up to you. So let's have a look at a little bit at what compassion actually means before we move into the meditation. So according to Buddhism, love is wanting others to be happy, whereas compassion is wanting them to be free of suffering and doing what we can to bring this about. And compassion needs to be distinguished from pity, which is this kind of sad and anxious feeling we often experience when we see or hear about people's pain. So pity is really kind of fear and ego based and wants to keep a distance from the person who is suffering. Compassion, on the other hand, is based on love. It empathizes or feels with others' suffering and is willing to get close and help them. Compassion is also not the emotional over-involvement in others' problems that causes us to feel depressed and helpless. That is what the Lamas sometimes refer to as idiot compassion. True compassion involves wisdom that understands how and why suffering occurs and enables us to deal calmly and realistically with people and their problems. We do what we can to help, but we also understand our limitations and don't feel upset about what we cannot do. An attitude of compassion is what really counts. It's not possible for anyone, even an enlightened being, to actually eliminate someone else's suffering. Each person must do that for themselves. Also, our ability to help others is limited as long as our own mind is still troubled by misconceptions and confused emotions. We should therefore work simultaneously on developing the wisdom to see clearly how things are and the compassionate wish to alleviate others' suffering. Then our actions will be truly skillful. So we're going to meditate on Avalokiteshvara, that's the Sanskrit, or Chenrezig, which is the Tibetan, the Buddha of compassion. So compassion benefits not only others, but ourselves as well. As the Dalai Lama has said, if you want others to be happy, practice loving compassion. If you want yourself to be happy, practice loving compassion. So just relax your body and mind and bring your awareness to the breath. And touch base with that very positive motivation that you set earlier in the beginning of the meditation. Imagine that all of space is filled with beings sitting around you and extending beyond the horizon. If you find it difficult to think of all beings, think of as many as you can, comfortably. Your parents and other family members are beside you. Your friends are behind you. People that you don't get along with are in front of you. And others are all around. Contemplate the suffering of these people and beings. And first, think of the suffering of your parents and other people you are close to. Open your heart to the physical and psychological problems that they are experiencing. And think that just like you, they want to be free of all suffering. Every single being that you're visualizing around you has this wish. And so do all the beings that you're not visualizing. It's a big ask, isn't it? All sentient beings. But they all want to be free of all suffering. Feel how wonderful it would be if they were free and could enjoy the peace and bliss that comes about at enlightenment. Don't leave out the people that you don't like or those who have hurt you. Take some time to imagine their suffering. Their physical pain and discomfort. Their feelings of loneliness, insecurity, fear, and dissatisfaction. Just like you, they don't want problems, but they have no choice. As long as the mind is confused and ignorant of reality, it cannot find peace. So open your heart to these people for whom you normally feel irritation or anger. And expand your awareness to take in the troubles and pains of other human beings and animals. And recall that whoever has an uncontrolled mind necessarily has suffering. But don't be overwhelmed by all of this. Remember that suffering, unhappiness, and pain are mental experiences, impermanent and changeable. They arise because of misunderstanding and confused emotions, and once their causes have been eliminated, they will disappear. It is a matter of each one of us working on our own mind, dealing with our misconceptions and negative energy, and gradually developing a correct understanding of the way things actually exist. Feel strongly the aspiration to do this yourself so that you can help others to be free of their suffering. Now visualize just above your head and facing the same way as you, Chenrezig, the manifestation of pure, unobstructed compassion, love, and wisdom. His body is made of white light. It's transparent and radiant. Take some time to feel his living presence. His face is peaceful and smiling, and he radiates his love to you and all the beings surrounding you. He has 4 arms. His first 2 hands are together at his heart and hold a jewel that fulfills all wishes. The second 2 are raised to the level of his shoulders, the right holding a crystal rosary and the left a white lotus. He is sitting on a white moon disk upon an open lotus. His legs are crossed in the full lotus posture, and he wears exquisite silk and precious jewels. Hold your awareness on this visualization and do your best to stabilize it. Stay relaxed and comfortable and open to Chenrezig's serene and loving energy. Even more important than the visualization is to feel this presence of an enlightened being. Unconditional love, compassion, and wisdom. For you and all living beings. Now make a prayer from your heart to overcome your misconceptions and negative energy and to develop pure love and compassion for all beings. Feel that you are connecting with your own true nature, your highest potential. In response to your request, Chenrezig lovingly sends streams of white light, filling every cell and atom of your body. It purifies all your negativities and problems. It purifies all your past harmful actions and your potential to give harm in the future. And it completely fills you with Chenrezig's limitless love and compassion. Your body feels light and blissful, and your mind peaceful and clear. The light from Chenrezig radiates out to every living being, purifying their negative energy and filling them with bliss. Concentrate on this visualization while we recite the mantra of Chenrezig. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Now visualize that Chenrezig dissolves into white light, and this white light flows down through the crown of your head and reaches your heart center. Your mind merges indistinguishably with Chenrezig's mind, and you experience complete tranquility and bliss. Hold this feeling as long as possible, and whenever your usual sense of I starts to arise, an I that is bored or restless or hungry, whatever, think that this is not your real self, and simply bring your attention back again and again to the experience of oneness with the qualities of Chenrezig's mind, infinite love and compassion. And so let's finish off by dedicating the positive energy of this morning's session to the happiness and well-being of all beings in the world, and in fact throughout the universe. May all be well and happy and free of suffering. Thank you for joining me, and enjoy the rest of your day. Check our program to see what other things are online, and yes, stay safe. Thank you.